Hey, hi all. Welcome back to BRN Knowledge Center. In this today's session, we'll talk about the other access modifiers in C Sharp. If you look at the earlier sessions, we will talk about private, public, protected access specifiers or modifiers, then their functionality, like how they are giving an accessibility outside of class or inside of class or outside of assembly. And now we'll look at the other aspects. So when you look at the C Sharp, as I mentioned, so we have a six type of access modifiers, right? There are like public, private, public, unprotected, internal, right? And protected internal, right? And private, protected. So now we have seen already these three, right? Now we'll look at this internal. Okay. So what is an internal keyword or internal, the access modifier in C sharp? So in C sharp, if you declare internal specifier or the scope, right? Internal specifier or scope to any attribute or method, right? Inside of class can be accessed anywhere in the program, but inside of same assembly only. Inside of same assembly. That means inside of, right, same file or assembly, right? We can access internal attributes. Got it. So instead of same assembly, you can access internal attributes and methods without having any problem. So let's look at the demo and to understand more on this internal keyword. I'm just opening my Visual Studio, right, where I have these attributes, right? So I'm just changing this them to internal and see like how they are working, right? I'm just changing this as internal access and changing this protected to internal, right? And see that how they are accessible. Looking at here, I declared three variables with internal access modifier. One is this name and location and age, right? And then I have a method to print the details. Again, it is also marked as internal. So this class was closed here, this class. I'm not going to import anything, right? And anyway, I think as part of having a main method, we should have a class or should be defined same method instead of the same class. Okay, let us try with a different class and same assembly. So what is same assembly means? If I have a multiple files here, if you're looking at here, right? This is what my single project, right? Inside of this project, right? So I have a program.cs. That means this is one assembly. If you're going to add multiple files here, every file can be treated as separate assembly. But and it comes to know internal access modifier. So whatever code you are, whatever attributes and methods you are marking as internal access specifier, these attributes and methods are going to execute or access anywhere in the same file. That means anywhere in the program.cs file. That means anywhere in the same assembly. Got it? So looking at here, I'm having another class called program, and inside of it, I'm going to declare the main function here, and I'm going to create a class for, right, internal access, right? And then I'm going to directly access name, location, age, and then printing it. So now look at here, it won't give me any problem here, a compilation problem or runtime problem, because as the keyword itself is saying that, define that, you can access those attributes and methods inside of assembly anywhere, right? If I run this, right, definitely it will get print the given details on console, right? So if you look at here, it has printed my details, student name and location and age without any problem. Got it? So let me try to define the main method inside of same class and see like how they are working. I'm just coming this main thing, right? I'm just coming here. That means within the same class, I'm having a main method. Got it? So what you will do is you have to access these attributes, right? Hence, you need to create an instance. That's what we did here. And then I'm just assigning a values and I'm calling a method to print the same stuff. Now, if you run again, it is going to, display the same values. That means anywhere off in the same file, I can access these internal attributes and methods. There is no problem in it. But only thing is, if you're trying to access this particular class, right, outside of assembly, that means declaring, another called, let me show you like coming here. I am going to add one more file, right? So looking at here, program.cs, right? Sample PC. Okay, this is where I'm having it, these files, right? And looking at here, right, I'm going to remove this and coming here, I'm going to add one more assembly, one more file. Let me try that, new item. Okay, I'm going to add a class, right? Got it. I'll just give a name called, right? Uh, you know, uh, uh, assembly one, assembly, assembly two or something. So when I give this stuff, right, this is going to be adding here this stuff. Got it. Now, when I'm trying to import, right, or when I'm trying to, get those instance values here, whatever values I'm created here for the internal class, right? When I say like I'm accessing internal A as obj1 equal to new internal access, right? This is still creating it, right? When I say that, right, this is not going to show you anything inside of this class because you're being marked as internal. That means you cannot access outside of assembly, right? So even if I say like equal to, right, as share, right, this is going to tell you, does not exist in the current context. Got it? This variable itself is not getting any attributes, right? Even if you try anything which is not marking with something, right? Let me try if it is coming out. No, it is not coming. I think I should have compiled this. What is it is referring? Right. Or we say one dot. No, not coming out. So if you wanted to get those stuff, let me inherit this. Then I'll access classes, right? And let's create a class. Given no way. This won't get the values here because this is a different assembly until unless you import something and then access it. Got it. So this is what the difference of accessing internal access modifier attributes outside of another assembly, which is going to stop the access. Okay. So I hope you understand what is internal. Let me go back to our learning notes. I'm going to back here, right? And coming to the next one is protected, right? Internal, right? So the name itself is saying that protected, right? And internal. But here thing is, so whatever variables, right, or methods defined using this scope or this access modifier, right, is going to work, is going to allow to access instead of class, sorry, instead of namespace or assembly or in the derived class, because protected means deriving into a derived class, right? So if you derive it, still you can access those stuff. That means here in general, right, protected internal means protected or internal. That means if variable or a method is going to have it this protected or internal, either of scope is defined, right? You can access it inside of same assembly or inside of derived class. Let me show you demo here. So I'm just going back to my previous example here, right? And I'll still have the same stuff, right? This way, because what's happening? Internal class. This is what the earlier example, right? I'm going to change this protected, right? protected internal. Protected internal. I'll change other variables same, right? And method as well, right? This is protected internal. And this is also protected internal. Okay. Now you can access this instead of same assembly. That means by creating just instance, right? Still this is going to work out. Or you can import this, right? Protected internal. And this way also it is going to work. So in both cases, right? So that means if you look at the structure kind of stuff, if it is allowing protected true and the internal is not allowed, still you can access. That means true. If protected is not defined, that means not derived, but still I can use internal, that means still you can access. If protected, it derived, also derived, means the parent class already being derived, and also it is in the same assembly, also I can access. Only thing is, if it is not derived or if it is accessing outside of assembly, then it won't work. This is what the kind of multi pattern, like it is going to work in protected internal. So because of this problem, like it is allowing either of this access modifier is going to work, then C# 7.0 introduced another access modifier called private protected. Right. This is nothing but, right, protected and internal. That means if both are defined, right, that means looking at here, right, this should be on protected and internal, right, then only it is going to, right, give a problem, right? So false, false, false and false, definitely a false. Got it? So false and not true, definitely false. True and true only it is going to true, right? This is going to work out for us. If both are defined compulsorily, then the variables are defined with private protector is going to allow to access. Okay. So in C#, right, these access specifiers will allow to access variables when protected and internal, right, scope is defined and satisfied both, then only we can access. Okay, let's get on to demo. So I'm just going back here, right? So what I'll do is I'll just change this to, right, protected internal only, but this time it is protected, sorry, private protected. This is what the access modifier, right? So private protected, and this is also same, and this is also same, and this is also same. So private protected is nothing but protected and internal. Look at here, right? So now I'm trying to create, right, class for this, right? I'm trying to access it. It is throwing an exception saying that this is inaccessible due to its protection level. Why? Because even though you are on the same assembly, because it is internal, but it has to be derived because the private protected is nothing but the class should be derived and the content should be in the same file. That's what the definition of private protected. If both are satisfied, then only you can access it. First one is should be derived, right? That means here, right? Private, right? Protected access, and should be in the same assembly, right? Then only you are able to access this stuff, right? Once you derive that, you need to create instance for your derived class, and then you need to access all the variables and method from the private protected scope, right? When I run this, now you can get the output. Got it? So the assign details for the private protected. This is private protected. Okay. Run this. I can get the values because I have both scopes here, same assembly, and it has already derived, right? This is how it is working for the private protected. Where is that? This one. So I hope you understand this internal, protected internal, and private protected access modifiers very clearly. Thanks for listening this video, and please subscribe the channel for more videos.